Welcome back, friends, to the XY Mos. So one of the subscribers recommended or informed me that the signal wire for the boost control from the ECU on the TSX isn't like reliable or strong enough to really power one of these 3-port max solenoids. So I've been testing here a little bit with one of these XY MOSFETs that you could get from Amazon or eBay. They're pretty cheap. So this is the signal wire that comes from the ECU that's apparently not strong enough. And what this does is it takes the constant 12 voltage from here and then it pulses it at whatever the signal says, and it pulses it through these wires to the max solenoid, so that instead of the ECU having to power the boost controller, this little XY MOSFET actually powers it directly from 12 volts. I'm just tapping into the fuse box here for now. So let me go to the car here. I actually have the accessory on with the tune live. So you could see here's the map for the boost control, and just because I'm sitting here without the car running, I'm just going to set this to, let's just say 50%. And then you could see over on the left, my boost duty is 50% in the middle. And then if you go to the car, not only does this have a signal light on it, so you could see it's getting the 50% signal, but then you could also hear the max solenoid clicking away. So it is indeed working, and it technically boosts the amplification signal from the ECU instead of, apparently that's not reliable. Instead of messing with that or even seeing if that's a thing, I'm just going to bypass it with this device. One of the other things to it is it's going to be hard to show. Let me turn this off. Just turn that off on the laptop quick. As I was saying, the weird thing I had to do about this is this signal wire always has a voltage that comes from the ECU even when it's not activated with boost. And what happens is this controller ends up being activated, thus activating the boost controller even though it's not supposed to be. So you actually have to put some drain resistors on here. So these resistors go from the signal wire you could see here, and I just have it go to the ground wire, which is that black one. I have it also jumped to another spot that needs ground. But this pulls that signal wire, or pulls this signal wire down from being that constant voltage all the time, just so it's not activated. And then as you saw, when this voltage is high enough, those resistors are only, I added up, they're 40K ohms. So that's plenty that when it is actually running, it doesn't do any harm. It just still activates the solenoid without any issues. So I'll post some images here of maybe a little schematic of just how I have this wired, just so it's easier to see instead of what I'm explaining. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Stay tuned.